Hey guys, I am Game Advisor, and today we're going to be going over the Dry Run Expedition mission. The first thing you're going to want to know is that you really shouldn't bother getting gear, but instead just bring a bow and some stone arrows. You don't need a whole ton of these, maybe 20 to 50, and you should be good to go. The only animals you're going to have to deal with are going to be things like cougars, maybe the occasional elephant, and you might have to fight off some cave worms. Well, you're really going to have to. You don't might have to fight off some cave worms, as they're mandatory for the mission. Now, with that being said, before we go to the cave, you're going to need to go ahead and find two different pieces of equipment. One will be located here, and the second will be located here. Now you should have found a drill, solar panel, and some cables. What you're going to do is take those down to the next objective, which will be kind of in a little ravine. You're going to set the solar panel out in the sunlight. Now this is incredibly important that it's not in the shade. If it is in the shade, it gets no power and therefore you cannot activate the drill. So once you set that up and you set it up properly, you're going to take the cable tool, attach a cable to the solar panel, and run it into the cave. Now you'll see a big brown wall. When you see that, go ahead and take the drill off your back and place it on there. Then connect the cable you just ran from the solar panel to the drill, and you should see it start to power up. All you have to do is hit activate on the drill, and it will then begin mining that rock. However, once this happens, the cave worms will spawn, and there is a fair amount of them, so you need to be prepared. Again, we don't need guns or anything, we just have to be smart. It takes 2 to 3 shots with the starting bow in order to take these worms out. They're not too bad usually, so just start shooting away. If you have a group of multiple players, this should be no problem at all. If you're solo, you might just need to be extra cautious and extra safe when dealing with them. After a little bit, it should finish mining and you will then be able to go into the next room. Now, it's worth mentioning there's a good chance by this point in time that the sun has moved away from the solar panel. If that happens, the drill will stop at any given time and you cannot activate it again until the sun gets back to it. This is why making a campfire and a bedroll at this point may be useful to you to be able to skip the nighttime and get the sun to come back faster. You'll still have to wait a couple hours in game time, but at the end of the day, it's a lot better than waiting maybe 4 or 5 hours in game time or 10 hours depending on the time of day for the sun to come back around for you to be able to continue the mission. Now that we're through that first wall, you're going to have to do this whole process one more time. Run that cable again, get the drill, put the drill on the next wall, go ahead and hook it up, and then once again activate it and deal with another grouping of worms. Now there is more worms in here, however they're not too hard to deal with. They're just like the previous cave worms. It's the same process: break line of sight, shoot, break line of sight, shoot, rinse, and repeat. Very easy to deal with as long as you're careful. Now, after you break the final wall, you'll get some cool little dialogue, and after that dialogue is finished, you'll be able to go ahead and head back to your drop pod and shoot back up into space, and then congratulations, you finished the mission. Now, before you go, it's worth mentioning that you can also explore the desert biome at this stage. If you decide you want to skip it, great, you can just leave and go back to the next mission, which is going to drop you in the desert anyways, but if that's something you want to do, you can. There's a lot of animals out there. They give a ton of XP if you just happen to have some ammo that you want to burn through before you leave. With all that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like it, helps us out a lot, and if you don't like it, dislike it, that's perfectly fine too. I am Game Advisor, thank you so much for watching, subscribe for more Icarus content, and I'll see you next time.